Hey free-to-play gang, welcome back to another video. So we are currently on the testing server and I am taking a look at the new espers and figuring out whether or not you should save your summons or should you be summoning for the new esper, Abigail. So do take note that there will only be one new esper within this banner and that is going to be Abigail. There are no other 4-star espers included, right? So let's just kick everything else aside and let's get straight to the point. There are no rate up on the Gold Records banner at all. And with that, and considering the fact that there is going to be the Echo Tribute coming very soon, okay, not really very soon, but in about 3 weeks time, I feel like the best thing for you to do is to not use any of your Gold Records until the Echo Tribute event comes around. So that is just completely out of the way, but now we need to talk about SSMs as well. Because the thing is, some of you guys might still be holding on to SSMs, or maybe some of you paid players might still be considering buying some SSM to summon Ashley instead of Abigail. And in this video, I am going to give you my opinion on whether I think you should be saving your SSMs for Abigail or just simply using your SSMs right now for Ashley. So let's take a look at Abigail, and there are some notes that I've written when I first saw her kit yesterday, and this was actually one of my main concerns. So Queen's Gift with a cooldown of 7 turns. This is crazy, right? So let's just take a look at her skills one by one. So we're gonna start off with Thorny Brambles. Attacks one enemy, deals damage, inflicts sleep for 1 turn, and heals 3% of her max HP. This is entirely garbage. There is nothing good about this skill at all. Not even on Avatar, I think, because sleep is definitely one of the worst, if not the worst control skills in the game, and the 3% heal, it really doesn't amount to anything at all, and he only heals herself, right? Now next skill, Rose Blessing, gains recovery for 2 turns, grants defense up and a shield to all allies for 2 turns, and shield strength is equal to 13% of her max HP, plus 25% of the target's lost HP, which means that if your team received an AoE nuke, or maybe like if you're in APEP for example and you receive a hit, you're gonna lose some HP, and 25% of that lost HP will also be translated into a shield on top of the 13% of her max HP. So ideally, of course, the way you want to build her is with a lot of HP. So that's about it. Let's move on to her third skill, Queen's Gift. Increases one ally's AP by 100%, and if the ally has fallen, revives them first and then heals them by 10% of their max HP. I'm not sure whether the AP increase actually comes after this or not. Sometimes it could be due to wording, but if this skill only revives without pushing the target's AP, then this skill is a lot more nerfed. But the thing is, if you do revive the Esper and you push his AP afterwards, that means you swap this order around, which it doesn't seem like it, right? Then I think this skill is actually really good. Now, if the ally is not fallen, reduces this ability's cooldown by 3 turns, and you grant Absorb, attack up to all allies for 2 turns. So this is a really important part, because the thing is, if none of your allies are dead, this skill would then have an effective cooldown of 4 turns, which is a lot more bearable in my opinion. So this skill also brings Absorb as a brand new buff, which is dealing damage restores HP equal to 20% of whatever that you have done. So it's basically just a lifesteal buff. And on top of that, you also gain an attack up buff to all allies for 2 turns. So the interesting thing about her kit right now that I'm seeing is that on her Rose Blessing and her Queen's Gift, which both have cooldowns of 4 turns, they have a total of 4 different AoE buffs, or rather team-wide buffs. So number 1, you have defense up and shield, and number 2, you have absorb and attack up, which means that she is very useful in Shadow Gale at least. And apart from Shadow Gale, I do feel like she is quite relevant in PvP with the AP push and attack up at the same time, and she's also pretty good in APEP and I think Chronos as well, just based on her kit over here. But I think what sells her the most in my opinion is that she carries a lot of early game buffs, right? So she has the buffs that your Suhua would naturally bring, and on top of that, she has some of the extra stuff like a shield buff and an absorb as well. And finally, you know, her captain ability is just HP by 30%, which is, in my opinion, quite garbage right now. So the way I feel about her is she's going to be really good for new players. She's going to be really good for mid-game players as well. Players who are trying to acquire their first Chronos clear, their first APEC clear. But I don't necessarily feel like she is going to be tremendously useful in endgame content. So let's take a look at her speed to figure out whether is she good in PvP at all, right? So over here, max level, she has 103 speed, which is not amazing, but it really depends on what her awaken is. If she has another 10 speed on this, that goes up to 113, which is not bad. It's a little bit faster than your Dahlia, which then allows Queen's Gift to be a little bit more potent. But honestly, we already have a Fabrice, so I don't think that this is necessarily going to be like game breaking or anything like that. I do feel like this skill is quite useful when used with maybe Ashley, for example. But anyway, I do feel like all in all, she is more towards PvE content rather than PvP content per se. So she's gonna be like a backup crew, right? If one of the allies die, then this skill is just gonna go into hibernation, and her second skill would then be the main buff that she's gonna bring to your team regularly. So I feel like she functions pretty well with Ocean Waves. But apart from that, you know, she's not amazing, not crazy like Ashley. So it is my opinion that if you still have some SSMs left to use, then you might want to channel all of those SSMs into the current Ashley banner before it goes away. I do feel like this banner is a little bit lacking. But anyway, she looks pretty cool, right? Look at that. Oh my god, she's sitting waifu sitting on a bouquet of roses. How awesome is that? So that'll be it for this video. Do let me know down in the comments below how you feel about Abigail's kit now that you're looking at all of her skill cooldowns and all of her skill effects as well. Where do you think she is viable in apart from the places that I've mentioned in this video? Anyway, let me know if you agree or disagree with my overview on Abigail. Obviously, I have not tested her out, so the things that I say could be completely garbage, but the thing is, I kind of trust my instinct that she is just going to be more of a PvE support, and that's about it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.